Welcome to the Ordinary Marathoner Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Ordinary Daily version of the Ordinary Marathoner Podcast. My name is Coach Scott. I'll be your host today. It is Tuesday. It is July 23rd. We are 5 days away from Ironman Lake Placid. Feeling pretty good these days. At this point, I've been mentally questioning things. Of course, you always go through that, right? But I don't know. It's not weighing on me. Put it that way. Someone asked me the other day, "Are you getting nervous?" I'm not. Things go through my head when I think about it, right? But I haven't been thinking about it. I'm thinking of different plans, different ways to approach it mentally, stuff like that. But I'm not like feeling a lot of pressure. Maybe I should be. I don't know. We'll see. I had a couple weird things going on the last couple days. We'll get to that in a second. Yesterday, I did some strength training, like I said I was going to do. Again, lowering the weights, just trying to maintain what I've built up. Tapering is 2 weeks. If I left it for 2 weeks, I would certainly lose strength. I don't want to do that. What's the point of working out all this time and building the strength only to lose it because you tapered and you decided it wasn't time to lift anymore? So no, the schedule is keep the lifting on the schedule. Just drop down the weights. Don't get injured. Don't make yourself overly sore or tight. But don't lose the strength you've built up. And so that's kind of the mind frame, the frame of mind, the mindset, if you will, that I've gone into with strength training. I think it's working. I think it's gonna be fine. Again, the key to lifting and strength training is consistency. Don't take 2 weeks off. Try to get it in, at least once a week, if not more. I try every third or fourth day, make sure I get that strength training in. Because if I go, I went 8 days once and I lost. I lost a little bit. I was able to get it back fairly quickly, but the key is consistency. So again, what's the sense of doing a year's worth of lifting if you're going to then take 2 weeks off for tapering and lose all that strength? We're not going to do that. Jumped on the bike last night, rode for about an hour, and it's funny, I'm in the gym, and it's the basement, right? So there's spiders, beetles. I see, it's like 57 minutes I'm on the bike, and I see this beetle go across the floor. And I'm like, all right, I want to kill this beetle, but I want to make sure I do my hour on the bike. And now the beetle's getting closer to the cabinet, and he's going to get underneath the cabinet, and then I might lose him. So I'm like, so I jump off the bike. I run around the bike in my bike shoes, which are annoying because the floor is all spongy. I get to where he was, and he's gone. And I looked everywhere for the damn beetle. Couldn't find him. He's gone. So he survived. He's somewhere in the basement somewhere. But I cut my workout 3 minutes short so I could find the beetle, and then I couldn't find him. I got to tell you, I've been messing with the bike lately. It's something you shouldn't do, right? Nothing new on race day. Nothing new on race day is the key. That's the mantra. But I've been messing with the seat for a few reasons now. Number one, it was funny. The pain that I felt after Mont Tremblant, the 70.3, the pain that I felt in my toes was kind of a new pain. It was a pain that wasn't there on my normal 65-mile bike rides, but all of a sudden you throw in some hills, you do 56 miles, and all of a sudden that pain was there, and it didn't dissipate on the run. It just stayed there. And I was very concerned about it, jumping from the half to the full distance, and whether or not it's going to be detrimental to my finishing. I'm very concerned about that. So I've been messing around with the seat, hopefully, because my thought is this. After sort of personally analyzing it, I think that the pain comes from when I pedal. I think my toes are too far pointed for too long. And I try to focus on getting them to kind of scrape up as opposed to point down. And I just don't know if I'm getting the results without doing a video, which maybe I should have done. Without doing a video, I'm not seeing the results. The pain is still there. It still hurts. If anything, I made one adjustment before my long ride a week and a half ago, Joe Caniano. And after 65 miles, the pain was worse than it normally is. So, combine that with when I was in Canada and I stayed with Joe Bartlett, who's a much, much better cyclist than me. And we had our bikes in the living room, put our bikes next to each other. And his seat and my seat were pretty much the same level. If anything, mine might have been a little bit higher. Now, I'm no scientist, but if he's taller than me and he's a better cyclist and I'm shorter and my seat is higher, maybe that's an issue. So I toyed with the seat a little bit, and I don't think I was seeing the results that I wanted. So yesterday I kind of put it down about another inch, and I need to do another ride to see how that's going to help me because, again, last night I did an hour, my toes were killing me, and I'm like, geez, an hour, if it hurts after an hour, how bad is it going to hurt after 7 hours, 7.5, 8 hours? It's probably going to be pretty bad. Let's make a little bit of a change, get some practice rides in, and see if it helps. And if it doesn't, then I'll have to move it back. Now, I had my bike professionally fit for me in January. And right now, all that work that we did on the professional fit is out the window because I've moved the seat around so many times. I mean, they might have measurements for me in the store. Maybe they'd be able to reset it the way it was. But at this point, it is just so off. And I know that for the most part, the very first thing you hear when you say, "Oh, I have pain," or "Oh, I don't feel like my cycling is good," and what should I do? Where do I invest my money? And the first thing that everyone says, get your bike professionally fit. Get it professionally fit. And you know what? That is an investment. It's typically an investment, hundreds of dollars that I spent. And I don't want to say that the person wasn't reputable. She had a lot of people singing her praises online, all that good stuff. And granted, you never know the true nature of the background of that stuff, but I trusted it. And she was nice. She seemed knowledgeable. She did say at the end too, she made a point to mention this. She said, a lot of people, they'll go home, and they won't call back, and they'll have issues, and then they'll blame me for their issues as opposed to coming back in and tweaking it. She's an hour drive away from me. So I can't make a little tweak and then go and drive and see her and then, and make some other thing. I can't do that, 5 times a month just to tweak I have to do it on my own. So I'll leave that open for interpretation. I'll just say this, that I spent a lot of money on the bike fit and it did not resolve any of my problems. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. And I think that it did help my output, my wattage. I feel like that might have helped there. But today I've pretty much destroyed that fit. And I think, you know what? I've trained so hard. I've made so many improvements in terms of my flexibility, my bike strength. I got to think that at a certain point, that bike fit that I did in January, is probably no longer relevant to my own stature anyway. Did a lot of strength training, did the yoga, did a lot of yoga, got more flexible, feel like I have more sense of balance. So I don't know. I hate to be the one guy that goes against conventional wisdom and says don't get a bike fit. But right now, for me, unless they were right in my neighborhood and I was able to kind of like get the bike fit and then go for a ride. And then if things weren't better, go back, tell them what happened, tweak it, and just keep going back and forth, not paying extra money until we resolve why I'm getting the pain I'm getting. It was not worth it for me. Just, that's my own personal story. You can take it as you want. And I would even recommend the person that did it. I think she was great. She asked a lot of good questions. And I think she was available to me had I been able to get there. I'm not driving an hour there, an hour home just to tweak my bike fit every time I feel a little pain or every time I have an idea of how to do it. So instead, I started doing it here, which is in another way that's good because you get to learn your bike and you get to learn, I am not an engineer. I do not do well tinkering with things and putting things together. So to get kind of more hands-on with the bike, figuring out how it works and how you adjust things, I think that's good for your own personal knowledge base. So I've been messing with things. I moved things around yesterday after that ride. I really need to get a ride in today just to kind of feel how, what my changes did. And again, I go back to Joe Bartlett's bike being lower, his seat being lower than mine, and me thinking, man, he pumped out like a ride at 20 miles an hour the other day in a race, and I'm thinking, if he's there, I gotta be lower than that. My seat has to be lower. That doesn't only make sense. So we'll see. We'll see how those changes. I shouldn't be making changes before race day, but at this point, I felt like I had to, and that leads kind of to point 2. So on Sunday, I woke up and I had this really weird pain on the top of my foot. I would say it kind of felt like a stress fracture, like that kind of pain. But I'm now starting to think that maybe it's more arthritic. I didn't run on Sunday. I opted to do the elliptical because of that. Because if it was some sort of structural thing, I didn't want to damage it more. So I did the elliptical, and then yesterday I got up, and I got to tell you, the pain was largely gone. It was still very slight. I could kind of sense that something was there, but it wasn't annoying. So I did my strength training, did my bike yesterday, went to bed, woke up this morning, and the pain, not only the pain was back, but it was back with a vengeance. It was bad. I hobbled to the bathroom in the morning. I had to go down the stairs, one step at a time. It still hurts. I got ice on it as we speak, actually. I have ice on it as we speak. I should have it elevated too, but I can't really elevate it here. If I put my foot on the podcast, you guys would all leave. If I put my foot on the desk during the podcast, none of you guys would watch on the video. Anyway, it's not my number one concern right now because I got a feeling that it's going to be better. I've had some issues with gout in the past, right? And so what the doc told me was, and at the apex of my weight gain and my poor treatment of myself, probably my alcohol use and that kind of stuff, those were my worst gout attacks. Throbbing pain in the big toe. That's kind of what typified it. Ever since I started getting into shape, those attacks have gone way, way down. I did get one maybe a year and a half ago. Went to the doctor. The doctor said, well, how are you treating it? And I said, I'm taking aspirin. Well, how many are Advil? How many Advil are you taking? I said, 2. And he said, well, there's your problem. 2 will help your pain, but it won't reduce the swelling. You have to take 4 if you want to reduce the swelling. Now, listen, I am not prescribing 4 Advil for anyone. Read the label, talk to your doctor. I don't know. This is what my doctor said to me in my case. Ever since he said that to me, every time I feel a little flare up, take 4 aspirin, 4 Advil, and it kind of goes away. In fact, I kind of had a little flare up a couple weeks ago. And I took 4 Advil that morning, and it never resurfaced. I was lucky. I think that was right around Mont Tremblant too. I remember waking up a couple days before Mont Tremblant thinking, geez, if this is still here for race day, I'm in trouble. And it went away. So, that's a good thing. So, gout is an arthritic type thing. So if this pain that I'm feeling today is arthritic, I just took the 4 Advil. Hopefully that will help and hopefully it'll dissipate. That's why one of the reasons I'm not worried. I'll start worrying come Friday, Saturday, if it's still here and it's not going away. That's when I will really start to worry. But for now, it's just ice and it's 4 Advil and it's hobbled around the house and I'll probably still get my bike in today. I think if I had this pain the morning of the race, I still would have gotten in the water. I would have hobbled over, put my wetsuit on, hobbled over to the water, got myself in. I would have hoped that the pain would dissipate a little bit before I got on the bike. I don't know if the bike would affect it. Look, it hurts, but it's more like when you walk, right? So I might have been able to get through the bike and then try to hobble through a full marathon. I don't know. I would have touched the starting line though. I would have been there and given it a shot with this pain. So it would have been inconvenient. It would not have been fun. It's just where you are, that's where I kind of wanted to share that with you guys today. Part of me I want to ignore it because I feel like it's going to go away. And then I don't want to be like, oh, he's making excuses again. Like, oh, he's not going to do the race because he's got a little footy hurt. But that's just where I am right now, and that's kind of where it's at. Also, the arthritic thing, and I don't know if it's a real thing or I just remember when I was a kid, we used to read the Berenstain Bears, and yes, it's Berenstain and not Steen. Go read it; you'd be surprised at the spelling. But the father used to always get like a throbbing pain in his big toe, and that was always the sign of an impending storm. Well, it's been raining here the last couple of days. We just had a big heat wave, so we've had sort of extreme weather. And, if that's an old wives' tale, so be it. But if it's not, then there's certainly a weather aspect to why this could be arthritic. And hopefully the aspirin will just take it away. And the ice will just kind of lessen the swelling and let it go away. Please go away. God forbid. I don't think it's something structural because I didn't do anything to it on Saturday. It was in no pain whatsoever. I never felt anything. And then, I had pain on Sunday, not so much on Monday, and then more pain on Tuesday. So I feel like if it was structural, I would have had more pain on Monday. It would have gotten better. I feel like it has to be some kind of like arthritic type of thing. I'm no doctor. I'm just ordinary. But that's kind of what I've been going through, and we'll see how it goes from here. But I am getting on the bike today. I do have to check out my new setup. I feel like I'm just begging for trouble here with all the changes I'm making and the things I'm going through. We'll see how it goes. We got a lot of things going on. Working on. We rolled out the Ordinary Marathon page. Jen Bergstrom, thanks for registering. I think we got about 15, 16 people registered now. We'll be doing another giveaway, I believe, in August, if not September. Brian Burke's helping us out with a metal rack that he's creating, and we're going to give away. He's been great. He's been a good friend of the race. So there's that. And I'm working on Team Ordinary and working on the coaching as well. The coaching it's gonna come through for us any day. I actually was an annoying guy that sent them an email yesterday and said, "Hey, I think I'm done here. You send me my certificate?" And they responded. They said, "Yeah, you're done. I just have to review it and then we'll get it out to you." And I'm still waiting. So we'll see about that. We'll see how long it takes. How long it takes to get certified. But, I'm not really, obviously I'm not going to start anything new. It's not like I need it immediately. I'm not going to start any kind of new ventures till after this race. And then I really think once this race is done and when I cross that finish line and kind of enjoy it the next day or two, I think that makes for a really nice transition to sort of our next phase, which is the whole Team Ordinary concept that I'm building out. Stephanie and I are building that out. I've reached out to a few of you. You guys have been very gracious and helpful. Looking forward to just kind of, I don't know, getting all this stuff done. And really, I think this is such a great group of people and so supportive and encouraging. And I just, I don't know, I have really high hopes for the future of Ordinary Marathoner and Team Ordinary and the Ordinary Marathon. And I just like how all this stuff is connected and the coaching and all that stuff. Everything's connected. Everything flows positively. Everything's encouraging. We just got a great group of people here, and I thank you guys for being a part of it. And with that, remember, every day is an ordinary day unless you make it extraordinary. So get after it.
Remember to like our video and subscribe to our channel.